Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Oldham County Board of Adjustments and Appeals. My name is Larry Otterbeck. It's 9 o'clock, and we have 5 cases before us today. The procedures for all 5 are going to be the same here in a minute. I'm going to swear staff in. Um, Mike Riley is going to read the case. Staff is going to give the staff report, and there'll be a round of questioning by board members to staff. And when we're done, staff's going to take a seat. I'm going to call you, the applicant, forward. You need to come to the podium, speak in the mic, raise your right hand, be sworn in, state your name and address, and justify your project. There'll be a round of questioning by board members to you, the applicant. And when we're done with that, you may take a seat. I'm going to call forward anybody that wishes to speak in favor of the application, and then those opposed. Same thing. Come up, come to the podium, speak in the mic, sworn in, state your name and address, tell us why you're in favor, tell us why you're opposed. It might be a round of questioning. When we're done with that, you may take a seat. Uh, I will call for any questions by board members to anybody in the audience. And when we're done with that, I'm going to close the floor for public hearing, open it up for general discussion, and call for a vote. Okay. Please make sure phones are off. Board members, make sure your mics are on. If you need to take a call, please excuse yourself from the court. Do whatever you need to do. Just make sure it's off when you come back in. And with that, let's swear staff in.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Great. Board Member Riley, can you read the first case, please?
Docket OC 21-030, an application
You can raise your right hand.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
State your name and address.
Jeffrey Scott Halfacre, 1500 Robertson Drive, Crestwood, Kentucky.
All right, Jeffrey. And can you justify the project and maybe fill in anything that he may have missed?
I just want to put my barn there beside my house where it faces the garages I already have. And as you can see, there's a big tree right in the middle of that drive. And I've lost so many of the ash. I'd like to keep that big tree and put it behind it, just right along the edge of the driveway there.
Okay. Questions for Jeffrey?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it your testimony that this is going to be for personal use only and you will not be conducting any sort of business out of this building? Is that correct?
I'm retired. I'm not going to run any business, or will be nobody living in it.
And you're not putting a bathroom in the structure as well? Am I reading that correctly? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, officer.
Is there anybody here wishing to speak in favor of the application? Opposed to the application? Board members, questions for anybody? Okay. Final words? Good. All right, I'm going to close the floor and open it up for general discussion. Very good and dry.
That the application, Larry, and I think it justifies to be approved based upon the testimony and the written, and also what the applicant has also said. So I don't see any problem with it whatsoever.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Agreement.
Thank you, Fred. I'm ready to take a motion.
I have a motion, unless Mr. Riley wants.
Go ahead.
I move approval of docket OC 21030 for a location variance on a proposed accessory structure at 1500 Robertson Drive in Crestwood. This variance is not going to adversely affect public health, safety, or welfare. It's not going to alter the essential character of the general vicinity. And the circumvention of the zoning regulations, is not unreasonable because the location of the applicant's residence and the field to the rear of the property restricts building sites. The location of the structure will allow the owner to utilize the existing driveway. It will improve the general appearance of the immediate neighborhood by indoor storage of equipment now stored in the driveway and prevent the removal of mature trees. The applicant has provided 4 letters from nearby neighbors in support of the proposed structure, and there are no letters or testimony in opposition. This variance will apply only to the application considered at the November 18, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. The structure shall not be used for commercial purposes or as a living space. That's my motion.
Thank you, Fred. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ron. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? It's been approved. Okay, Mike, read the next, please.
Docket OC 21-031, an application has been filed requesting a location variance for a proposed accessory structure located at 2025 Crystal Cove Drive, LaGrange.
Riley. Again, my name is Tom McIntyre, Senior Planner, Oldham County Planning and Development Services. Before we go, today is an application requesting a location variance for a proposed accessory structure located at 2025 Crystal Cove in LaGrange. On CO1 and R2, it is 1.65 acres. Here we have the aerial. You can see the close proximity to the water here. Here we have the pavement. Again, you can see the existing driveway with the existing house. Here is the zoning map. It's important to show that this lot does have, kind of steep. So it's 820 contour right here, all the way down to 776. So this is a 44-foot drop in elevation from here all the way down to here. For section 250.030E, no accessory use or structure shall be located in between the principal building and front property line. The applicant is requesting a location variance to allow for a proposed 960 square foot detached garage to be 52 feet from the front property line, which is approximately 57 feet in front of the principal's structure. The subject property is 3 separate lots, so lots 801 through 803. The proposed attached garage is shown on lot 801. The existing residence is shown on 802, and lot 803 is vacant. The applicant has stated that if approved, a consolidation plat will be submitted prior to the issuance of any building permits. For the justification statement, the existing residence does not have an attached garage in which to store lawnmowers or lawn care items such as mowers, wheelbarrows, rakes, shovels, etc., and other items like Christmas and holiday decorations. In addition, a detached garage is needed for the parking and sheltering of vehicles, boats, and any other equipment that needs to be out of the weather. The elevation of this property presents a challenge as the lot has a total elevation drop of approximately 50 feet from front to back. The septic tank and lateral lines are located behind the house, which presents no limitation for placing the detached garage behind the residence. The proposed attached garage will enhance the residence and the surrounding properties and will be designed to complement and improve the view towards the house. The proposed garage will also deter anybody from stealing equipment and tools, which provides a safer option for everyone rather than leaving such items outside. Again, as mentioned, this is 3 separate lots. So 801 has the proposed garage, 802 has the existing house, and 803 is vacant. Here's a zoomed in version. So I've highlighted the gravel or the drive in gray. Again, here's the proposed structure, 52 feet from Crystal Cove. Existing residence is 109 feet. So this structure right here, or the proposed structure, is 57 feet in front of the residence. So this picture, it looks like the structure, the proposed structure might be behind, but again, if you look here, it is clearly in front. I've moved down the driveway. Here's when I was speaking with the applicant, he placed a couple of markers just so you could kind of put a visual to where it might be. Different. Here we have a view looking back at the cul-de-sac, looking west towards LaGrange. Here's looking north towards the water. Again, you can see the drop off. And here's east looking, well east-south, looking down through this tree line right here towards open fields. In summary, an application has been filed requesting a location variance for a proposed accessory structure located at 2025 Crystal Cove, LaGrange. For potential conditions of approval, the variance shall only apply to the application considered at the November 18th, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. The structure shall not be used for commercial purposes or as living space. And number 3, a consolidation plat must be submitted and approved prior to the issuance of any building permits. We did receive one letter of support, and that was from the president of the HOA of Crystal Lake Club.
Might be the best, if you can put that back up. All right, and are we able to still point and draw on this thing? Okay,
Okay,
okay, could you show me, where the lateral fields are?
start right here behind the house, and then they run down, and it looks like they go in between the trees here and then on down.
Okay.
Closer to this side. And the only reason I'm saying that, I've got an old picture that was taken when the ground was dug up, and then also I see all the ridges or the sunken in places. So it looks like they come down close to the property line, and then they go out toward this way.
I guess behind pretty close to where that arrow is, the white truck, van, whatever it is, right in front of that, but still behind the house.
Yes.
Go back a little bit, right about there. Is that not suitable?
Well, that actually drops off probably from here, from where we are here. It drops down another 8 feet or so by the time I get to the house, if I'm just going straight down this way.
And you're saying on the other side of the house, which is the, one might say it's the front of the house,
Right here.
you'd walk out and right smack dab into the garage.
And that was going to be the spot when I was looking at it first time. I thought, okay, what if we put it right here? The drop on that by the time I put the house between this line and closer to the house, it was going to be in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 feet drop just across this way. So I'm still going to have to wind up putting a solid foundation under it. Then I'm going to have steps from the garage to the house. And also, it become a driveway then. And then what happens at that point in time, I was going to plan on putting a driveway, circling it down and coming back into this way. And it just seemed like it was a lot of unnecessary concrete to do that. Plus, we was going to have to put steps down to the house. So if I put it over here, then I can walk out of it. It's the same level as the driveway, and I can walk out of the garage and just walk right into the house.
It's a dead end road right there. Is that correct?
This is all a dead end road right here.
And maybe you can't answer this, but the to the right of where the hand is, go to the right.
Right?
Yes, the next lot to your right. Yes, that is serviced. Actually, Tom, maybe this picture might be so the other lots, I guess is all I'm getting at. The other lots are going to be, thank you, Tom. The other lots are going to be serviced by other means. This is a dead end. Looking at the houses are somewhat far away from where you're proposing the garage.
Yes. I'll kind of follow up on that. This distance right in here is all, it's probably 20 feet line full of a 20-foot area all the way down, composed of just brush and trees, and et cetera. And I wanted to try to leave as much as that between my lot and this lot here.
All right, other questions?
I have a couple. You spoken with the Oldham County Health Department regarding your septic system?
No.
I believe there's a requirement, correct me if I'm wrong, that in order for you to secure a building permit, you're going to have to communicate with the health department regarding your septic tank and lateral line location.
Okay, and that's who I got this print from, I guess. I talked to someone over there, not from the health department, but it was someone that actually issued the permit for the septic tank itself. But I can do that.
And
That's
then
not a problem.
you're talking about your septic tank and lateral line location. Are you saying that you saw did you build this home?
No, it was actually built I think in the 1970s. Someone come in and remodeled it all, took it down to the studs, and that was in 2019. I think that's when it was certified for occupancy, and we just bought it 1 year ago.
So then it would be safe to say that you have not hired a professional to locate your septic tank and your lateral lines.
That is safe to say.
And then also, you heard me ask the previous applicant, this building will be for personal use. Will you not be conducting any sort of business?
No, it's just going to be a garage and storage for lawnmowers and stuff.
Other questions? Okay, thank you. Is there anybody here wishing to speak in favor of the application? Yes, sir. Morning.
Morning.
If I can get you to raise your hand, be sworn in.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
And name and address.
My name is Jim Allen, 1416 Oldham View Drive. I'm the president of the Crystal Lake Club, and obviously this house resides within the subdivision. It's kind of unusual. You have my letter of support. The board has actually asked me in kind of an unusual event to come here and speak and support Nelson and his wife for this variance. Pretty much everybody in the club has been down to this house at one point or another. You probably don't know that, but it was under construction by Chris for a long time before he sold it. Excuse me. And pretty much the most common comment was, boy, this place needs a garage. And the best place to put it is right where he, indicated it should be. So I just here to speak in support of the request for the variance. Since the other issue came up, I'm also the chair of the Crystal Lake Road Tax Maintenance Committee. So we distribute the funds for maintaining the roads and stuff, including that cul-de-sac. And I think it's extremely useful to have that garage sitting down there, because what happens is people come down that hill and they don't see the house. And then they're in this cul-de-sac, and then they got to turn around and go back out. So it's kind of a indirect opportunity here, but seeing that garage there, you're going to know really quick that you're in the wrong place. So I personally, not on behalf of the board, because I didn't talk to them about it, but I think that's a really good idea to put that, put that garage there. So that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions for Jim? Okay, thank you, Jim. All right, anybody else wishing to speak in favor? Opposed? Nelson, final comments, statements, anything else you wish to add?
Nothing that I want to add. I just want to clarify one thing, is that after I leave this, am I under the impression that I need to have the septic tank professionally located? I mean, I know I've got pictures of it and I know where I think it is. I mean, I'm within 5 or 10 feet, but.
Yeah, what I'm going to just direct you to staff. They'll help you. Yeah. Yep. All right. Board members, questions for anybody?
I've got one for staff if I can ask Tom. So Tom, going back to that conversation, the applicant will need to get a document sent over to planning and zoning from the health department that has been reviewed in order to receive the permit. Is that correct?
The applicant will apply for a permit, and at that time on the permit, it'll say, is it a sewer or septic development? He'll click or, check mark septic. Then we'll have to get a letter from the health department stating where it is based on the plot plan that he provided, and that is good to go essentially.
But I just wanted that for the record and also to help the applicant know that because I asked a question, I don't want him to feel that had to be that way. I was just curious if he had it professionally located, but it was also, I thought that the applicant's going to have to get a document from the health department before they can issue a permit for the structure. I just want to make sure
He will apply for the permit, and then that paperwork, and we have the checks to make sure that's things like that don't occur. Okay. And then once we can verify that will not occur, then the permit will be issued, assuming that all the other information is provided to our chief building official.
The clarity on that, I appreciate it.
Okay. Further questions? Comments? All right. If not, I'm ready for a motion.
Make a motion. Motion to approve docket OC 21-031 for location variance for proposed accessory structure, detached garage at 2025 Crystal Cove Drive, LaGrange, Kentucky. A variance is requested by applicant to allow a 960 square foot detached garage to be 52 feet from the front property line, which is approximately 57 feet in front of the primary residence. Support for approval is as follows. Elevation of property presents a challenge as the lot has a drop of about 50 feet from the front to the back. Septic tank and lateral lines are located behind the primary structure, which prohibits any structure to be built. The residence does have an existing garage, the residence does not have an existing garage to house lawn care items, other equipment, or automobiles. These items will be in the new garage and out of sight of other neighbors and in a safer security environment. It will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare. Conditions of approval. The variance shall only apply to the application considered at the November 18, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. The structure shall not be used for commercial purposes or as living space. A consolidation plat must be submitted and approved prior to the issuance of any building permits. That's my motion.
Great, thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? It's been approved. Okay. Can I get a motion for a quick recess?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Thank you. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Quick recess. Mike's off, please.
Or after they read it.
Once we go back in.
Judge side, then we send it to the sheriff's office and
All right. Can I get a motion to come back into session? Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Back in session.
Chairman, I need to remove myself from this case.
Okay. Just if you want to sit outside, we'll send staff after you once we're done here. Okay, Mike, if you want to read the next one, please.
Your microphone on?
I'll start all over. OC 21-032, an application has been filed requesting a location variance for a proposed accessory structure located at 2905 West Highway 42, LaGrange.
Good morning, Amy Alvey with Oldham County Planning Development Services. As Mr. Riley stated, this is an application requesting a variance for the location of a proposed accessory structure at 2905 West Highway 42 in LaGrange. The property is zoned R2 residential and is approximately 3.75 acres. This is the aerial that is provided through our GIS system. You see the existing zoning is R2. To the west is C1. Across the street to the south is R2, and then R2 to the east and as well to the north. This is the area map that shows the existing driveway and home. There is no previous site history related to this property. So again, the applicant is requesting a location variance to allow a detached garage 65 by 40 or 2,600 square feet to be placed in front of the primary structure. Section 250.030, accessory uses and structures without dwellings. Item B, number of accessories, states that 2 accessory structures with maximum floor area of 2,700 square feet is allowed on tracts 3 to 5 acres. So the size of the structure is within the regulations. Proposed accessory structure meets the standards of section 250.030, accessory uses and structures with and without dwelling units, except for item E, which specifically states that no accessory use or structure shall be located between the principal building and the front property line. The applicant is requesting a location variance to allow a portion of the accessory structure to be built in front of the primary. The home is approximately 100 feet from the front property line, and the proposed detached garage is approximately 50 feet from the front property line. So 50 feet of the 65 will be in front. So it's 15 feet of the structure will be behind the home. The other 50 will be located in front. And the side yard setbacks must be 5 feet, and the proposed location as well exceeds those minimum side yard setbacks. So our GIS shows the property line going all the way over here. It actually is here. So this is the correct location of the right side property line. And then this is the proposed structure. Here's the primary home. So you'll see the distance from the primary home to the property line is 100 feet. The distance from the front of the proposed accessory structure to the property line is 50, which it cannot be any closer than 50 because that is the required setback for this property here. The right side is 46 feet, and there's approximately 8 to 10 feet in between the home and the side of the accessory structure. This is the renderings of the building that was provided by the applicant. Because the primary structure does not have a garage and doesn't have a place to store vehicles and have a woodworking hobby upon retirement. The proposed location is the flattest area on the lot, and it would be cost prohibitive to try to move the garage further back on the property due to steep contours. The view of the building from Highway 42 will be obstructed by the tree line and vegetation. And finally, the location will also help block road and traffic noise on the property as well as the adjoining property. So this is the contour map. Again, you'll see the square here is the location of the building. And you'll see there are significant draws here that go back. And I have some pictures in the presentation as well. So this is just another, again, zoomed in version that shows you the home, the location of the accessory structure. And you can see this is the flattest area. And this is all heavily treed here. So this is 2905 West Highway 42. This is the west view. So this is going back towards LaGrange or the intersection of 42 and Highway 53. This is the south view. So this is across the street. This is Old Highway 53 here. This is the east view. This is a view from standing across the road at Old Highway 53, looking into the property. So you can see the home here. And this will be, you'll see some structures here. Those will be removed. So that will be where the new building will go. This is just another view. You can see that the front line is heavily screened. So this is the location. Oops, sorry. So this, when I went and did the site visit, the applicant was actually out, and we were discussing where his septic system was. So this is the location of the septic. This is the rear of the house and a deck. So the septic tank is here with the lateral lines going behind. So this is just another view. This is the rear of the house. The tank is here, and then the lines all run downhill. And you can see I'm standing probably 50 feet from the back of the home. You can see the elevation change where it drops off significantly here, and then it drops off to the side as well. This is a letter of support from the adjoining property. So this is the property to the east. This is from the Prebbles. And it just says, my husband and I live next door to Rick and Lisa for years. They have been great neighbors. We understand they will be building a barn on the property between our properties. We have no problem with that. We would like our privacy. And even though there are plenty of trees between us, we think a large building will give us all even more privacy. So in summary, the applicant is requesting a location variance to allow a detached garage to be placed in front of the primary structure. Potential conditions of approval: the variance shall only apply to the application considered at the November 18th, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. And number two, there shall be no commercial activity conducted from the accessory structure and shall not be used as living space. That is all that I have, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Amy. Questions for Amy? Actually, Amy, I'm going to ask if you could, there's a picture that you had of I think it may have been one of your topo maps. Go to the,
Topo?
yeah, well, no, I guess it wasn't a topo because it's a picture. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Couple more. And keep going. Right? One more. Right there. That's where I want you to leave it. All right. Any other questions for Amy? All right. Thank you. We can have the applicant come forward, please. Morning.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
And name and address, please.
Richard Bunch, 2905 West Highway 42.
All right, Richard. Okay. You can fill in the blanks and justify the project.
I'm sorry?
Just fill in the blanks and justify the project.
Yeah, been living in this house for about 20 years. Sorely need a garage. I'm a tinkerer, so it'd be nice to have somewhere to be able to work on, on my car and change my oil and all that. Also, kind of starting to set up for retirement. Want to be able to put a woodworking shop in the back, just personal use, just tinkering around. That we need a lot more storage. Just got married a few years ago, so we merged two houses and we don't even have room to sort stuff out. So extra room in there to get stuff sorted to begin with would be great.
All right. So Richard, the reason I wanted Amy to leave it here, it appears to me, if you were to back that up, maybe all the way to where your dog is there, would that not be able to put the structure behind the primary structure and still fall within guidelines?
Looked at that to begin with, and had some a couple of different concrete companies come out, and actually, it actually falls off. The way it falls off actually is it doesn't quite show how steep it is in this picture by looking at it. It falls off quite a bit. They said they'd have to do a lot of fill and everything. I'm also behind the structure wanting to put I'm wanting to put about a 15-foot concrete slab as a patio to be able to grill out and things like that. So besides the structure, I want a little bit more behind it for utility, for leisure time and things like that. So if I put that on there, if I were to move the building back, I wouldn't be able to use that for the leisure structure either. And that's a great place that kind of looks out to the woods and everything.
All right. Comments, questions, board members?
I have a question. You have these two sheds that are sitting off to the left hand of this square thing. Are those going to be replaced, taken down, or removed? Or
yeah, I plan on getting rid of all that. Right now it's just extra storage. As I said, we've got a ton of stuff from merging two houses, and so yeah, as soon as I can get the stuff out of those and
are you going to be putting in any sanitary facilities like a bathroom or a shower or anything in that?
I am gonna put in a toilet and a sink, since I'm going to use that as a workshop and hopefully be out there a lot. It will be able to be naturally fed to the septic tank because of the elevation. I have already talked to the Board of Health and gotten a letter from them clearing everything. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the proposed structure is, 2,600 square feet. If we were to reduce that, would we be able to fall within guidelines? Why 2,600 square feet?
Well, basically, that's I started off one big. I want to make sure I've got plenty of room for a workshop, plenty of room for storage. I'm going to be storing a couple of cars in it, as well as a tractor I have there. So I want to make sure I got plenty of room in there. And it's everybody says you never go to a building going, wow, I wish I built it smaller.
Do you ever have any intention of having it living space?
No,
Do you have any intention of commercial use?
no,
All personal storage?
all personal storage, personal playground.
Any further questions? Okay, thank you. Is there anybody here wishing to speak in favor of the application? Opposed to the application? Final words, statements, anything else you wish to add? All good? Board members, questions for anybody? Okay, if not, I'm ready for a motion.
I move approval of docket OC 21032 for a location variance on a proposed accessory structure at 2905 West Highway 42 in LaGrange. The variance will not adversely affect public health, safety, or welfare. It will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, and the circumvention of the zoning regulations is not unreasonable. This variance arises from special circumstances not generally applicable to the land in the general vicinity, namely an elevation drop-off from behind the residence and septic lines, making it cost prohibitive to build the proposed structure. The structure, as the applicant has testified, will provide storage for vehicles, lawn equipment, and such, and allow the removal of 2 sheds currently on the property. He has submitted a letter of support from a close neighbor, and there does not appear to be any opposition to the application. Variance shall apply only to the application considered at the November 18, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing, and the structure shall not be used for commercial purposes or as a living space. That's my motion.
All right, very good, thank you. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? It's been approved. Thank you.
You ready for me, Mr. Chairman?
No, not yet. We're
Oh,
waiting to get Ron. I know. Okay, Mike, if you'd like to read the next one, please.
OC 21033, an application has been filed requesting a location variance for a proposed accessory structure pool located at 5007 Fairview Drive, Crestwood.
Right, Amy Alvey again with Oldham County Planning. As Mr. Riley stated, this is an application requesting a location variance for proposed accessory structure, which would be an in-ground pool to be located in the side yard at 5007 Fairview Drive in Crestwood. The property is zoned R2 residential and is approximately 2.5 acres. Here is an aerial view of the property. Shows the existing zoning for this subdivision is R2, and then the properties to the east is Zone T for trailer.
For what?
It's a mobile home park
Good.
to the rear. So this is the area view that shows the existing driveway and the home. There's no previous site history. So again, the applicant is requesting a location variance to allow an in-ground swimming pool to be placed in the side yard. Section 250-170 swimming pools, hot tubs, and hydro spas. Number 1 states that spas shall be located behind the principal structure on the same lot and shall not be placed in any areas identified as required on-site subsurface sewage disposal system repair areas by the Oldham County Health Department. The applicant is proposing to place the pool in the left side yard due to the limited space, in the rear yard due to a walkout basement, and the thick wooded area behind the home. The pool will be fenced and landscaped to screen the area from the street and will also utilize the existing tree line to the north to buffer from the adjoining owner. So this is the site plan that was submitted with the application. So this is where the proposed pool will be. This is the tree line here, and then here's the rear yard. Applicant is requesting a location variance to allow the portion of the accessory structure to be built. That's not correct. On the side of the primary home, the home is approximately, what happened? That must be an old slide.
Back to the other case.
I don't know how that got in there, but okay. So this is the rendering that the applicant provided that says the size of the pool will be approximately 16 by 32. The fencing they will use will be similar to the black, which is here, not the white. And in the front on side that faces the street, that would use tall grass for privacy, similar to the picture, but closer together and taller. And there are already trees on the side facing the neighbor to the north. According to the applicant's justification statement, there is limited space between the concrete for the walkout basement and the edge of the woods. If the pool was placed in that area, it would not leave any backyard space for the children. The woods are extremely thick and cannot afford to take down enough trees to make space for the pool. Plus, the sun comes up from behind the home and keeps the area shaded almost all day, which is not ideal for the pool. Subdivision lots are all larger tracts and mainly separated by woods or trees, and proposed fence and landscape would enhance the look of the house and the yard from the street and add character to the home. This is the west view. So this is across the street. If you use your site map here. This is the north view. This is the north adjoiner. This is the south view. So this is going back out towards Highway 22. And the south adjoining property. This is the rear yard. So this is coming from the right side of the house going around the back. It's kind of hard to see a little bit from this picture, but this is part of the wing wall here. And it all rolls downhill from there. And then you can see this is the small area that's located behind the home, and then it drops off significantly here into the trees. This is the side yard where the location of the pool will be, and then these are the trees that were in the applicant's justification that spoke of blocking the view from the north. So this, I don't know if you can, it's probably hard to see, but they actually have a spray painted line here that just shows the front of the house. So this is where the pool would go. So they would have fencing along through here to secure the pool and provide the screening. Again, this is just the side yard where the home is back here, so you can't see through the trees to see the home. That's this location here. You can see from this is the property that we're looking into, and this is where their pool is located off to the side of their house as well. This is another view from the rear yard. So before I was standing here looking down, so you can see the elevation change that comes down into the rear yard. And that was the wing wall that I was speaking of before. So you can tell the elevation change in the slope of the rear yard. And again, this is just the rear where all the heavily treed areas and the drop off is. Excuse me. I did receive a phone call from a Mr. Shuck who lives at 4914, which is right here, stating that he had no objections to the application and the location of the pool. In summary, the applicant is requesting a variance for the location of the proposed accessory structure, which is the pool, to be located in the side yard at 5007 Fairview Drive in Crestwood. The variance shall only apply to the application considered at the November 18th, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. That is all that I have. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Amy, do me a favor and the shots again, showing how that property falls off. Something that a aerial view from the sky doesn't give you. That's why these photos that you all take are so very important to us, to the applicant. Look at that. Okay. A couple more.
This is another view of the rear. Then there was, you can see this was from looking from the front of the house looking down. So it's still hard to see from that, but you can see this is the end of the wing wall. So there's not much room from here to here before it drops off.
We go forward to where they're right there. I mean, okay.
You can see the line here as well.
You mean one of the photographs that you had, it was showing the proposed, kind of like an artist rendering. I'm understanding the application correctly. There's not going to be a gazebo, pool house, or any of that other stuff. This is swimming pool only.
You may want to clarify that with the applicant, but that's not my understanding that they will have that. I know it's in here. Where did it go? There we go.
See how that particular rendering shows that. I just want to make sure that I understand what the application is covering, but I'll ask that of the applicants as well. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Amy? Okay. Thank you, Amy. And if we can have the applicants come forward. Good morning. Get you sworn in.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Name and address.
Corey Compton, 5007 Fairview Drive, Crestwood.
Greg Compton, 5007 Fairview Drive, Crestwood, Kentucky.
Okay. And if you can justify the project.
Sure. So we bought this house, about 5 years ago, and this is our forever home. So we do plan to retire there. We have a 5-year-old son, so we're getting to the point where it's finally time for us to safely build a pool. And the rear of the house, while I would ideally have it there because you could walk out from our walkout basement right into the pool area, as Amy stated, there is very limited space between the end of our concrete or our walkout area and where that tree line starts. Literally, I don't even think you could fit a full pool back there. And you would bump right up against that tree line. And I don't know if you can tell from the pictures, but that tree line they're huge, mature trees, and it goes back pretty far. So you wouldn't be able to have any sun on the pool at all. The side of the house where we're looking at putting it is completely flat. It's almost like it's made for a pool. And it's very unused area. So it would still give us the back shaded area for kid time, play time, and then the side as well. It's made for a pool almost in the way. But the expense around not having to take down trees and all of that is ideal as well. And
No. Yeah, so as you were saying, the house, the way it sits, the rear of the house is facing east. Sun comes up over there. You have all the shade from the tree line. You'd have very little sun on the pool. Once the sun goes over the house, it would be shaded again. To the north side of the house, where we're proposing for the pool to be, it is the most open area for sunshine. So whenever the pool would go in, there's a few trees there to the east side of where the pool will be. Those will be taken out. And then it should receive sunlight through the entire portion of the day. Should be ideal.
Our next door neighbor didn't write a letter, but she did say she would really enjoy us having a pool next to her. She had to she has one beside her house and she had to shut hers down. She can't open it anymore.
Okay, questions?
Yes, I do. You folks heard me ask previously in regards to, do you intend to put any sort of a gazebo or accessory structure other than the pool?
Not, and I apologize, that's a little bit confusing. No, that was really just to show kind of the landscaping and the,
I saw you shaking your head in the back of the courtroom, but I also wanted it on testimony so that everyone would know what your answer was. Thank you.
absolutely.
And then I also have another question. You've heard me ask other applicants regarding septic system. Do you folks know where your septic tank and lateral lines are? Have they been located? And you know that won't be an issue with this proposal?
Well, so we haven't had them professionally located. That will be something we'll do as we move forward on the project. What I do know is when you're in the basement, on the northwest corner of the basement, there is a output line there. And then at the southwest corner of the basement, there's an output line there, which leads me to believe that there's either two tanks, which would be in front of the house, and also the way the grass grows, you can kind of tell that there's probably some two tanks out front, but they are well away from where the proposed pool would be.
But I think that we saw somewhere in the verbiage, perhaps, that it said something about the health department or lateral line placement. Was that correct? Was that in the application notes that you read, Mike? Yes, staff saying that's correct. Again, it's just always a concern because, you folks are about to make a huge investment in today's day and age. What can go wrong will, based on supply issues and manpower. And I'm just for everyone's benefit. But if the county's got it noted that you locate and you know confidently where your lateral lines are, it's very depressing to be putting a pool and all of a sudden you dig into a lateral line that you had no idea was there.
our contractor did say that part of the permit process would be to have to locate those and ensure that he's within those parameters before he could move forward.
It's good. It's very important. Again, this is something that we don't want this to occur, and then you make a field correction that no one's aware of, and it's not in compliance with what the health department. But I'm seeing staff nodding their heads. So I'm concerned with not only your project going off without a hitch, but then also that if you're required to be in compliance, but staff is saying yes. So I'm beating a dead horse, but we'll move on.
Any other questions?
Have one. And you're putting in an in-ground pool, correct? Okay. Is it going to be a gunite concrete pool? Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Okay, thank you, guys. Is there anybody here wishing to speak in favor? Opposed? Board members, questions for anybody else? Okay, I'm going to close the floor, open it up for discussion among the board members.
For me, the justification isn't in the woods or the lighting coming in. It's the justification is in the slope. And as someone mentioned, it's those photos that made that apparent, that there's a unreasonable amount of sloping in the backyard that would justify the relocation.
Okay, anything else? All right, I'm ready for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve docket OC 21033.
You can make sure you're speaking into the mic.
It's on. Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm sorry. Motion to approve docket OC 21033 for a location variance for a proposed accessory structure, pool, to be located in the side yard at 5007 Fairview Drive, Crestview, Kentucky, because the rear yard is sloped to the extent that it would make the construction of an in-ground swimming pool very difficult, if not impossible. The pool will be fenced and landscaped to screen the area from the street and will also use the existing tree line to the north to buffer from adjoining property owner. It would not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare. Conditions of approval. The variance shall apply to the application considered at the November 18, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. That is my motion.
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a second? Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? It's been approved. Okay, Mike, if you want to read the next one, please.
All right. OC 21034. Application's been filed requesting a conditional use permit to allow construction of an accessory structure before the primary structure located at 2702 West Mount Zion Road, Crestwood.
Your last one for the day. As Mr. Riley stated, this is an application requesting a conditional use permit to allow the construction of an accessory structure prior to the construction of the primary located at 2702 West Mount Zion Road in Crestwood. The property is zoned R1 residential and is approximately 1.5 acres. You'll see highlighted here in red, this is the subject tract. Shows the surrounding zoning is R1, to the south is AG1 agricultural, and across West Mount Zion Road is zoned CO1. There is no previous site history on this property. Again, the applicant is requesting a conditional use to allow the construction of a 1,500 square foot accessory structure to be located on the property prior to the construction of the primary. The applicant recently purchased the 1.5 acre tract to downsize from a 10 acre tract and a 6,000 square foot home due to health issues and is unable to assist his wife in the care of the property and current home. And states they would like to store belongings such as furniture and custom vehicles in the accessory structure while the new home is being constructed. And due to health issues, it would be hard for them to move belongings multiple times. The applicant anticipates having the home completed within 24 months. Section 250.030, accessory uses and structures with and without dwelling units. Item C states, shall follow principal use. No accessory use or structure may be developed until after the start of the construction of the principal use of the building site, and no accessory use or structure may be used unless the principal use or structure has been developed, except after the review and approval as a conditional use. Section 250.030, accessory uses and structures. Item B states that 2 accessory structures with a maximum floor area of 1,800 square feet is allowed for tracts of 1 acre to 2.99. So it falls within the size limitations based off the size of the property. The proposed accessory structure appears to meet all of the standards of Section 260.030 conditional use standards, with the exception of item C that we just noted. This is the site plan that was submitted with the application. This is West Mount Zion Road here. The proposed home will be approximately 200 feet from the road. And then the accessory structure is located here. It is 15 feet from the side property line and approximately 100 feet from the rear. And again, you'll see the single family home here is approximately 200 feet off the road. This is the rendering of the single-family home that will be constructed on the property provided by the applicant. And then this is the proposed accessory structure. This is a view looking into the property. There are 2 large trees here. So this is right almost dead center of the property, looking in from Mount Zion Road. This is looking again into the property. These were the homes that were shown on the aerial here. This is just another view, zoomed in. This is the west adjoining property owner here. And this was actually the person that sold the property to the applicant. This is the west view. So this is their property here. So this is looking west. This is the east adjoining property. This is the east view. So this is their property here. This is the east view going this way. This is the north view. So this is across the street. This is letters of email or support. We received one email from the adjoining property owner here. So this is the location here that says, Dear Oldham County Planning and Development Services, we received your mailing of November 3rd with the above docket regarding the property at 2702 West Mount Zion Road and the construction plans for Merle and Shannon Brown. We reviewed the plans and details. We have no problem with the proposed building and sites. We support the Browns' efforts to build what they want in whatever order they like, as stated in the plans. So in summary, an application that has been filed requesting a conditional use permit to allow the construction of an accessory structure prior to the construction of the primary located at 2702 West Mount Zion Road. Potential conditions of approval is that the conditional use permit shall only apply to the plan considered at the November 18th, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. And item 2, there shall be no commercial activity conducted from the accessory structure and shall not be used as living space. That is all that I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
For me, go to the right. That's fine, right there. Look, you have several pictures where the lot lines just look odd. The subject property, yeah, left of the subject property, it looks like that. Yeah, do we have two different lots there? That
Let me go back to the larger aerial here. So the person that resides here, the Bashams, they owned this entire tract.
Okay.
Their deed called out, their tract was made up of 3 individual tracts.
Okay.
This was a tract, this was a tract, and this was a tract.
they never consolidated it's still as is.
Yes. Their deed called out 3 individual lots, and that was how this lot was it wasn't created recently. It was, again, 3 individual lots that the Bashams purchased, and then they put this individual lot up for sale.
Okay.
I have recommended to them that they should consolidate this little sliver with this one, so it's all clear and clean when they go to sell their house in the future.
You've recommended
They
it.
may do that. That's up to them.
All right. Any other questions for Amy? Okay, thank you, Amy. And if we can have the applicants come forward, please. Hello. Get sworn in.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Name and address, please.
My name is Merle Brown.
Shannon Brown.
We reside at 1160 Woodsdale Farm Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, and we purchased 2702 West Mountain Zion Road in Crestwood, Kentucky.
Okay, can you add anything to what Amy said or justify the project?
About 3 months ago, I had open heart surgery, and we decided to downsize our home. We live in 10 acres, and we have a 6,000 square foot home. My garage, I have a garage. It's attached to the house. It's over 2,000 square feet. Then I have a pole barn that is a 30 by 40. And I have some older muscle cars. We have a tractor and all our Christmas things. And
Large outdoor Christmas decorations.
and we just now put this house up for sale. And so what we're wanting to do is build a pole barn so we have a place to put all our furniture, the cars and that while we're building the house.
Okay, questions for Merle or Shannon?
Your current home is in Shepherdsville, is that correct? You put it on the market for sale.
2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Would you estimate it that it would take to build your new home?
Approximately 6 to 8 months.
Said correctly. I didn't ask it correctly. You have to sell your home and your current home
Or-
insurance.
We don't have.
We don't have to. We've, just to let you know, we've already put in the driveway. We've already had it,
A construction driveway.
construction driveway to get into the property. We've had it perk tested. We know where the septic's going. We've had it surveyed. Today they're putting in a temporary pole. So we're going to be moving right along. And we've already had a cash offer on the house and it's kind of fallen through, but we're still in negotiations. So I will do the pole barn right away and we'll start on the house right away also. At least doing some of the things. We're getting ready to get into winter time. So I might just do the dig out for the basement and that now. And then it'd be a lot nicer to have the extra money when we sell our house.
Okay.
From the bad side of town over here to Crestwood with you guys now.
Well, just to carry on to what Mike was saying, so you're actively moving on to this now. And I'm sorry, do you expect to have the primary residence built within 6 to 8 months?
Our goal, but we put on there 24 months just in case we come into problems. And it's getting to be winter.
So 24 months, but really you're kind of expecting and hoping to have this done.
We've already put in the permit for the water. We're getting temporary electric today. And like I said, we're moving right along.
The location of the proposed structure, does it fall in general character of your neighbors? So, and I just don't see the distance on this picture here, the other pictures, but I think yours was, we did have a distance. Is it in the packet, Amy? Yeah, it actually is in the packet. The barn you have is let's see, the house is 200 feet from Mount Zion. And the barn is whatever the barn is, maybe that's 300-foot mark. Does that fall within character of your neighbors? Okay. And am I reading that right? Is it 300 feet from the road?
No, it's going to be about that, right about 300 feet. Yes, sir.
Other questions?
What will be the square footage of your new home?
2,100 square feet.
mentioned a construction driveway that's already been put in. You mentioned a construction driveway that's already been, is that
Put the driveway in.
the same driveway that leads back to the proposed structure when it's,
But the driveway now just comes up to close to where the front of the house would be. And once we get to everything, it'll curve around to the side and I'll be able to go into our garage and into the pole barn.
Will you be installing a toilet or any water service to this accessory structure?
I might put a sink in just to wash your hands while we're out there, but other than that, that would be it.
I'm looking at a drawing. Hold it up for your benefit. This is indicating the building, and it said 600 square feet finished, and there's a line through it. So do you intend to, in the future, move forward with finishing a portion of this accessory building?
No, we originally requested that and then found out that we didn't have enough depth, I guess, in our land to be able to have a separate living structure. So we just totally nixed that idea, and all we need is just the storage facility for the custom cars and furniture.
So you're saying, if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, your home's currently for sale and that you would hope to start construction of the single family dwelling in the relatively near future when you're allowing yourself 24 months. Are you working with a general contractor? Or are you subcontracting this yourself?
We build houses and flip houses for a living.
Then on your building, I don't see how your building is going to go up any faster than your house is. So I'm a little confused as to the request. If you intend to put your foundation in for your home, wouldn't your building be going up potentially simultaneously with your home? I don't see how your out structure can get.
The pole barn won't take less than a month to build.
In whose world?
That's that's about what it is.
Okay. All right. It just seems to me that with timing, if you go under contract, the benefit of the building is to locate your stuff to. If you're already negotiating contracts on your home, you could feasibly be 30 days from a closing, or let's just say 60 days. I don't see how the accessory structure is going to leap that far forward.
As soon as we get the approval for this, we would do this right away.
Okay.
And, like I said, we should be able to have the pole barn built within a month.
I would love to see that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Any other questions? Good. All right. Thanks, guys. Is there anybody, do we have any letters of support? There was a letter of support. Any other letters of support or opposition?
Just the one email that was provided from the adjoiner.
And nobody else here to speak in support or opposed? Okay. All right. Board members, questions for anybody else in the audience? Okay, I'm going to close it, close the floor, open it up for general discussion.
Well, I'm just going to make the comment, as you already heard me say to the applicants, I don't see how timing's going to work out, but that really is not relevant in this. They're requesting what they're requesting, and I understand that. I have concerns for their progress in their based on the availability of manpower and all that other stuff. But again, I think that has no bearing on the request for application. In light of that, I would be in support of it as submitted based on their testimony.
All right, very good.
And Ron,
Mike missed it. Mike wants you to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
you said you were in support of it?
So I'm sorry. I would be in support of their application. Again, I have concerns based on our current environment with materials, availability of manpower and all that other stuff. But again, to my point is my concerns have no bearing on their application. But that you heard me say to them of that. But other than that, based on the merits and the facts that they've submitted, I would be in support of it.
Well, I think we can handle that with the conditions of approval and put an end date on when the construction of the primary residence should be completed.
I believe we've already seen that, and it said 24 months.
Great.
Well, and he did in his written deposition, he wanted 24 months.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Mike.
I think that if that's not correct, I thought I read that he would be completed with his home no longer than 24 months. Is that correct? Am I reading that correct? I think that's a reasonable amount of time. I don't think 5 years is reasonable. I don't think 6 months is reasonable. I think 2 years, and that way we wouldn't have to come back to this application if something happened, something didn't fall like it's supposedly going to fall. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay, if there's no more discussion, I'm ready to take a motion.
Motion to approve docket OC 21034 for a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, pole barn, to be constructed before the primary structure is built. Due to recent health issues, the applicant is having to downsize his current living arrangement to a smaller home and less property for him and his wife. Because applicant has the current residence for sale, he needs to build the accessory structure first, so household items could be transported as required and placed in storage on the new property. Approving this conditional use permit will make the transition to the new location more efficient for the applicant. It will not cause a hazard or nuisance to the public. Conditions of approval. The conditional use permit shall only apply to the plan considered at the November the 18th, 2021 Oldham County Board of Adjustments public hearing. Number 2, there should be no commercial activity conducted from the accessory structure and shall not be used as living space. Number 3, construction of the primary home to be completed on or before December the 1st, 2023. That is my motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Been approved. Okay. Minutes. Do we have any changes to the minutes? Good luck to you. No changes to minutes? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Moved.
Can I get a second? Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Minutes approved. Other business?
We have already received applications for December, so that will be December 16th. So, we have one, possibly two already. Filing deadline is next Wednesday. So as always, we'll send an email out.
Okay. Anything else? Again, caution everybody, myself included, on training hours. Just don't forget about those things. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Meeting adjourned.